Hi, hello, how are you? Amanda, Seint artist. I'm gonna do my makeup. I'm gonna use some new colors on my cheeks today. I'm gonna be using Ever Red, which is that new half color. I got all 6, but today I'm gonna use Ever Red on my cheeks. I just need to open her up. So cute. All right, so I'm gonna just pop that. This is how easy it is, boom. That's how easy it is. Oh my gosh. All right, so I'm gonna do Ever Red on my cheeks, and then I'm gonna do Bear as soon as I can get it open. You have to be careful opening some of these, I heard. Bear will be on my lips. Those were the 2 I was extra excited about, so that's what I'm gonna use today. I am gonna try something else. So if you've been around for the last, I don't know, 2-3 weeks, I tried draping to cover this guy up with Bella bronzer, and it worked so well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna try it to cover this. I usually use Aspen to cover this redness, but I decided I wanna try it with Bella. So that's what I'm gonna do today. So I'm gonna grab my blush and bronzer brush, and I'm gonna go into Bella bronzer. Come on, there we go. I'm gonna go into Bella bronzer here. I'm just gonna tap into it, put it on the tips of the bristles. You can't even really see that it's there. And I am gonna drape this over here and up. I do this to pull warmth through. This is the only time I'm gonna put my bronzer on. I usually put it on at the end also to mix with my lips and cheeks, but that's not something you need to do, so I'm not going to. So right now I'm just putting Bella bronzer on my brush, and I am going to come up and over my nose. Now, it looks a little weird, I know, but I'm doing this to color correct, not color cover, my melasma spots and my discoloration on my cheeks. And so far, I feel like it's doing a really good job. Color correcting is just what it is. It's color correcting, it's not color covering. So I'm not putting on a full coverage of makeup. I'm merely draping over another color that isn't clearly, it's not my skin tone, but I'm doing this to counter the color that's already there. So when you have a melasma spot, it's brown, but when you're looking at a color wheel, brown is more like a green, and the counter is red. And in Bella, it has redness in it because it's a bronzer. So I'm just popping this around just like this, and that's it. And that's all I wanna do for my color correcting today. I'm not gonna do my eyes. That's a separate tutorial I'm gonna do. And now I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna do my makeup. So I'm gonna put my contour on with my detail brush. Love this brush. So I'm gonna go into Indigo. It's my favorite. I'm gonna push this on, and I'm gonna pop this. And when I put this on, I'm not wiping it on, I'm stippling this on, just like this. So you'll see it looks a little crazy, it looks a little weird, it's gonna work out. I am gonna push this onto the edge of the brush right here, and I am going to draw on this upper part of my nose. I'm not gonna try to come down here. I'm gonna focus right here, and I'm gonna draw a perfectly straight line, and then I'm gonna stipple down. Does that make sense? Like that. This makes sense, right? So what I'm doing is I'm just slimming my nose. I'm making it super straight because I have a bump and it divots in right here, and I'm camouflaging that by drawing this straight contour line right here. But because I've color corrected, that's what the stippling is for. So I'm just going to put this right here just to give myself a little bit of a button nose, just like that. All right, the key is the stipple method. It's balancing these colors on, not wiping them on when you're color correcting, because then it can move that corrector. So I'm gonna push this onto the edge, and I am going to follow this down. There's different ways of contouring for face shapes, but I have maturing cheeks because I'm of an age. And so I don't want to curve up right here. If I bring it up right here, it's going to cut my cheek in half because I'm losing that buoyancy right here, and it can mature my cheeks if I do that. So I'm just pushing that contour straight down. Everybody's face is shaped differently. Message me if you want to try this, because this makeup is magic. Okay, it's makeup, not magic, but this makeup's magic. I like the way that this keeps me young. It doesn't mature my skin. It doesn't emphasize the fine lines and wrinkles. I'm gonna go right in front of my earlobe and I'm swiping this. I don't have color corrector down here, but if I don't blend it now, I'll probably forget to blend it later, which is why I do that. So I'm just pushing up here. A lot of people will see that when you contour, they tell you to draw the number 3. I'm essentially doing that. I'm just doing the points of the 3. I'm not getting the round and the round. I don't need that much product on my face, but I will be blending it to those areas. So I don't need it. All right, let's go in and let's do some brightening next. I'm gonna go into Sunlit, which is my brightener, and I'm gonna put this right here in between my brows. I'm gonna use my finger because it's easier. And I'm gonna draw a straight line down my nose, just like that. Okay, nothing has to be perfect because we're gonna blend this, so it doesn't have to be exactly perfect. I'm gonna put a little bit on my Cupid's bow, and then I'm gonna put some right here on the middle of my chin. I like putting brightness around the lips because it draws attention to the lips and it can accentuate the color that you end up putting on your lips, whether it's a neutral or whether it's a bright. All right, next I'm gonna go in and I am gonna switch to my 3D brush. Where did I put that? I just got back from our vacation, so everything's everywhere. So I'm gonna take the shorter end of my 3D brush. I'm gonna go into my main highlight here, and I am going to pop this right underneath that contour, right here. And then I'm just gonna stipple up because I have that color corrector up here. And so I'm just stippling over that and I'm basically covering all the parts that haven't been contoured and brightened. I'm not applying the full amount, filling it all in with product. I'm just swiping here, whatever's left on the brush, I've stippled around my mouth, up my cheek. And then what I'm gonna do here is stipple, stipple, and I'm gonna pull this down just to blend that main highlight down and give me an even skin tone. That's all this is. It's taking all the tones, you have your shadow tones, your bright tones, your natural tones, and bringing them together and giving you an even skin tone that has dimension because our face isn't one-dimensional. So I'm just going to bring that highlight down here under my chin, under that brightening. Okay, I'm gonna add a little more, and right here, I'm gonna put that main highlight underneath this contour, and then I'm gonna stipple what's left on the brush up and over. I don't like to add highlight creams here or here because they're high movement areas because we talk, we smile, we laugh, we live our life. And so there's a lot of movement there. So if you add a heavy cream there, it will gather, it will move, it will collect, and it will accentuate that smile line. So I'm just stippling this around. There's not a lot of product. I put it on the brush, swiped it up, and then I blended it down here, over here, up here. And now I'm gonna take those brightening colors, I'm gonna bounce on them and bring them out and down. And again, look at that. It's got brightness, but it's evened out with that main foundation highlight that I just put on. Same thing up here, just stippling over back and forth. And again, it's bright, but it isn't a spot. It just evens out the skin tone. Really, really nice. I'm gonna add a little bit, and I'm just gonna go right over here between my brightening and my contour. And I'm gonna take that brightening, I'm gonna bring it out, and I'm going to bring it to that main highlight. And again, taking that brightness and melding it with my main highlight to give an even skin tone. That's all I wanna do for right now. I'm going to then move on to my contouring. And I'm gonna start with my forehead, and I'm just gonna use a small circle on my forehead. This is why you wanna try this makeup. Look at how easy this blends together. So if you wanna try this, all I need is a makeup-free selfie of you facing out a window, a couple steps back, so I have indirect sunlight, and I can match your dark tones, your light tones, your bright tones, all the tones, and you could try this makeup. It's affordable. It's $14 a tin. I mean, who doesn't want to try that? So look at that. It's just really pretty, even skin tone. It has this sheen to it that gives a natural dewy glow, and I feel like putting that bronzer across just done a really good job. So I'm going to do my cheeks. So I did that color correcting here. So here's the key to blending this area. I'm going to stipple over that contour, and I'm going to push up. So I'm not rubbing it, I'm not circling it, I'm keeping this where it is, I'm just blending it out. I'm going to under blend this because I'm going to add a blush and I'm going to add a brightener here. And so by under blending it, when I add my blush, it's going to blend it down more. So I'm just going to stipple this up into this point. So remember how I said I would make the 3 This is how I do that. When we blended here, we brought it up. Here I'm bringing it up too. So it has that 3 motion. I just didn't need to add that much product. All right, right here on the nose, because I did that bridging, I'm just gonna stipple this up and down. I'm gonna sweep just a little bit right here because I wanna take this contour and I'm going to bring it to my brow because that's where our shadow naturally goes. I'm gonna bring it down. I'm gonna use my finger and I'm gonna tap this over the brightening, and that's it. Okay, so let's brighten under the eyes. I'm gonna switch back to my detail brush. I'm gonna go to the small end. I'm gonna go to that brightening color, and I'm using Sunlit, and I'm just going in either corner. I put a lot here. Sweep some of that up. There was a lot. And then I'm gonna bring it out here. Oh, I need a little more. Boop. Okay, less is more under your eyes. And so it's a soft tissue. So all I'm doing is stippling this back and forth. I'm gonna bring this up into the inner corner of my eye, and then I'm gonna bring it over, and I'm also gonna bring it down past my orbital bone. And that is because between your orbital bone and your eyeball, there's nothing holding that skin up. So it's very soft tissue. And so if you just applied it to that soft area, that's why you have what you would think is a bag. It's just because there's nothing holding it up. So if I were to just add my highlight here, it would accentuate that soft tissue. And so by bringing this down onto my orbital bone, it camouflages it a bit, blends it out, and gives you this nice, young, and youthful look. So I'm just gonna stipple this over. I'm gonna bring this up into that inner corner. I like using a brightening on the inner corner more than a shimmer, because I mean, throughout the day, you know, things collect. And I would prefer it to collect with a cream rather than a shimmery powder, which can make it look a lot more gunky than it needs to be. So just bringing this down under that orbital bone, and that's it. All right, so let's blend this way down. I'm just gonna push this here. All right, there we go. You can take whatever's left, put this on the eyelids. I use my brightening highlight as my primer. I'll be adding a little bit more when I do my eyes, but whatever's left, I've just popped right up there. Let's do our cheeks. So I want to use Ever Red. It's so pretty. Oh, I've already put it in my palette. Here it is. So I'm going to use my finger. I'm going to put a fingerprint of it on. Oh, this is so pretty. I'm going to pop it here. Stay with me. I'm going to drape it because I've been really loving draping. Now I have that discoloration down here. I'm gonna keep this bright redness away from that area because it will pull it back through. I'm gonna take that 3D brush and I'm just going to blend it by stippling over and up. I'm gonna cough, so I'm gonna have some coffee. Da 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 da. Look at how pretty that is. I'm not gonna add bronzer because I feel like indigo does plenty. This is where I'll stop. So again, I have the dots because I'm draping it up. I really liked this draping method. This isn't new. This is something they did a lot in the 80s. And so I'm not gonna say like, look what I've created. I'm not. I'm taking something old and making it new again, like most things in life. So I'm just going to keep this right here, bringing it around, and that. I really am using that bronzer before gave me that warmth that I like. Now, Ever Red is a gloss. You can tell because there's a sheen to it. Okay, you can see that sheen, whereas Bare is a satin and there's not that sheen. When you're using something like a gloss on your cheeks, it can be a little bit sticky and it can be a little difficult to work with. Here's what I suggest. Take a fluffy brush, go to your setting powder, put some on, and then bounce over that glossy lip and cheek. And this will keep the color because it's a really nicely well-pressed powder. So it doesn't change the color, but it does set it and it will stay. All right, let's do lips because I really want to try Bare. Looks really pretty. Oops, wrong brush. I'm gonna take my finger because I have black on this brush. I'm gonna go into Indigo and I'm gonna put my soul patch on. I do this every day. Like, you won't find me without my blended soul patch under my lips. So what it does is it creates the shadow and it gives the illusion of a curl. And I'm gonna pop it right up here too. And then I'm gonna blend it way out. So I want a very subtle shadow. I mean, it's pretty darn subtle, but I want it to give the illusion of a little bit of a curl. And it'll give me a fuller lip. I'm gonna take Versailles, which is a brightener. I'm gonna pop it right here on the outer corners of my mouth. And what this is gonna do is it's going to structure out my lips. So it's gonna just give them some more definition. But you wanna make sure it's blended out or it just looks like you have white stuff around your mouth. All right, I'm gonna go into Bear, and I let's see what Bear looks like on its own. I might wanna mix something with it because I don't wanna look like a corpse here, because it is a really nude color. So I'm putting it on my finger, and oh, it is satin too, so it's gonna need something. Ooh, ooh, okay, I don't think here's what I wanna do. What do I have? What do I have? What do I have? I have nothing. I'm gonna take, sorry guys, sometimes you just gotta sit through some of my BS. I'm gonna wash my brush because I really need this multitasker brush. So I'm just spraying some of my brush cleaner, which smells like cotton candy and it's so, so yummy. But look at how pretty. I really like it. So I just cleaned the brush. Look, all that black is gone. And you know what else? One, it smells good, but it's also dry. This is dry. So I'm going to go into indigo. Yeah. For some reason, I thought I saw Bella. Okay. I'm going to put a little bit of indigo on, and I'm just going to pop this on with it. Just to give it, so I'm not going all the way out to the corners. I'm just focusing it on the middle, and I'm not making it a hard line. But you see how it just adds just a little something extra? That's good stuff. Oh my gosh, I love Bear. Okay, that's it. So then I'm gonna take my setting spray, not my brush cleanser. I'm gonna spray it up, and I'm gonna let it fall on my face, and my makeup is set. No bronzer on except what's under my makeup, but I love the way it pulls through and warms things up, and it's so pretty. I need to turn things down a little. Look at that. I need to add a little bronzer to my neck. So I'm going to take that fluffy end, and I'm going to go like this. Just add a little warmth to my neck. My neck is always lighter than the rest of my face, so it'll always look a little funny. So I just take bronzer to the fluffy end, and I focus it on the upper part because, you know, clothes, jackets, things. And I focus it here first on this part above this little area, and then I blend it out. Oh, look at that. It's so pretty. Okay, and using Bella bronzer under, oh, so good. And Ever Red is so pretty. Okay, that's it. Have a great